Good morning. Today we are doing the Caius Elijah goodbye tour. I had previously gotten all of these notifications because I kept going back and forth with like a corrupt save, so I knew the order of these deaths. But I finally got the save right. This one's clean, ready to go. And when I got the Caius Elijah notification in the previous video when we are celebrating the life of Kainoa, Makoa's father, I panicked. I panicked hardcore because he still has a child and he was the last adult living in that household. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to Zafira? Holy crap, please wait. I was panicking. And what's so crazy about that is Zafira turned into a teenager right before her father died. I looked at the notification, so she would have been fine. What you see here is that I kept getting notifications about the same person. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that as a sign. I'm gonna go check on Caius because he's not actually dead yet. And then I get here and I realize Cassandra Goth isn't actually dead either. Weird thing about all three of those going at the same time is they are Zafira's parents. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. This whole animation is just so sad. It's so good in that it literally strips the life from her. It's So Zafira, this is Zafira in the brown hair. She just turned into a teenager. And that's her stepmother. That's her biological father. And Melania Darong, the one we got the notification about in the very beginning of this, is her biological mother. So she loses all three of her parents in the exact same time frame. And when I first got these notifications, it was in the same order, but the first two, Melania, I don't need to pay attention to that. I never really liked her. Cassandra, that's devastating, but I don't need to stop gameplay for that. Caius Elijah, I have to stop gameplay because he is the king of Ondarion. And so I decided in this moment, almost a few moments from here, that he was going to also take this as a sign, right? I got the sign, which means they get the sign. And so I'm looking in his thing and I'm like, okay, he's gonna die very quickly too. He's the king of Ondarion. He needs to get his affairs in order, right? So first and foremost, when you're king, it's about the country. It's not about your family. So first things first, we go into him figuring out an heir for the country. And in this universe, we do it a little bit differently. So first of all, we have a matriarch. So if there's an eligible woman, it's a woman. Now, Cassandra and Caius have a daughter named Cassia Leona, but she's not eligible simply because she was kicked out of the dynasty. Another thing is eligibility is kind of running like a point system because we are valuing different things, right? So in the Darong Dynasty, there's its own set of values. Are you participating in the arts? Are you participating in prestige? But also, I've decided we prize rebirth of matriarchs over everything. So that's why Caius is here. Jawara was reborn, and in her previous life, she starts out a new save, right? So she is first generation Darong. I understand in the save she has a father as well, but that's like 0/-1 generation.
Bebmoy.
Nabatani. Shenzel. Plus.
Lovu.
Valpin Zitorib.
Yili Dobi.
Kafaya.
Derfoino.
Schmippet.
Pelagam Nashur. Lucci. You threw a shabao. Palifa Shorza. Maybe Hebene. Gavinidis. Mescanor.
Monaya. Tibu.
Resalek. Franho Hibani. Genja Fazar. Bolomaidon.
And then I got the double Gabriel Jude. So this was traumatizing as well because Gabriel Jude is Caius Elijah's twin brother. Jimmy Sarpong changed his last name again because we live in a matriarch. So he changed his last name when he got married to a Sarpong, but he's a Goth. He's the third child of the Goth family. So he's Cassandra's younger brother. So that whole generation just decided to take themselves out in the same day, which is huge for my save in like the most negative way.
You're Blick Leffel?
Yes.
And what he's doing right now is he's passing it down. It's a life and death thing where he has like mastery perks or like life knowledge that he's able to pass down. I don't show all of it, but I went through and made sure he passed down all of the things that he could to Jawara. You'll see a couple more throughout he's able to give to a couple other family members, and that's cool. But it's really important that he is able to symbolically pass down everything to Jawara specifically.
Grouse Fredishay. Yoim. Gomip. Jasp. Flazzle. Harbu Radafa, huh?
Yabahe. Savrim Tivane. Pani. Sora baby. Subao.
Bitsin.
What's really cute about the Caius and Johnny dynamic, there are a few times, 3 specific times in his life when he fell head over heels in love. And the third one was with Johnny, is a platonic love. And we've talked about this in previous videos where Johnny was plopped into this universe. He's an interdimensional traveler. But that means he has a lot of skills. And so when Caius first met him, he was completely just blown away by how skilled and wise he was. And immediately, like literally the same day that he met him, I got the pop-up notification that Caius wanted Johnny to be his mentor. Which is not specific in this game. It's from the small business pack. And so it's like you can be a mentor for anything. It's like an open-ended mentorship. Okay, so I love this moment because Caius is about to talk to Benedict, and it's almost like Benedict is waiting for it. He's like sitting there. He kind of hangs his head for a brief moment, and the way I'm interpreting that is he kind of has a premonition. Like, Again, Caius can't tell everyone everything, but there are people who understand, maybe not on a conscious level, maybe on a conscious level, like what's going on. When we recently did his glow up, as I was editing it, I couldn't figure out why I never liked that hair. It's grown on me so much, I'm just like, that's Benedict. That's his hair. Like, it just is so amazing. But you're now caught up on what we're doing here today, so I'm going to get into the story of Caius Elijah and Gabriel Jude. Once upon a time, in the land of Ondarion, there lived two young princes, Caius Elijah Darong and his twin brother, Gabriel Jude Darong. The two princes were born to two queens, Francesca Abrantes Darong, and their kingdom ruler, Zahara Darong. Gabriel Jude was always the charmer. When Zahara had press conferences or balls, he wasn't too afraid to talk to strangers and share the love. He learned social skills very quickly. Caius Elijah was smart, highly intelligent man in ways of logic and knowledge, however, not in ways of the heart. When these two boys became young adults, they moved to the fisherman's wharf on the Thebes side of Ondarion and started dating. Caius was very specific about the kind of woman that he was looking for. I would classify her as a breeder and nothing else. He classified his ideal as someone who wouldn't get in the way. He has to pass on his genetics, and he certainly does not need to be distracted by love, because he's going to be king of Ondarion one day, and he needs to be focused. But he found exactly what he was looking for. In two women, he went on dates with them, bought them dinner, and bluntly, as any calloused man would, asked them very straightforward questions. And his final question was always, explain your attraction level to me. And bluntly, both of them said, I'm not very attracted to you. Which is exactly what he was looking for. They won't get in his way. They won't want his attention more than he's able to give. They gave him the answer that he was looking for, and he was appalled. The audacity of these women to waste his time. It's so ridiculous. And then he found Cassandra. And all these dates were found on Cupid's corner. And when Cassandra's picture came up, his heart started fluttering, twitter-pating. He couldn't believe someone so gorgeous could exist in the world. And that's distracting. So instead, he'll go on a date with these other women. When that didn't work out, he reached out to Cassandra to see if maybe she would find him attractive. And what he ended up finding was love. Now, he denied this for a while because, sure, you can fall in love, but that's distracting, and that's not what he's here for. This life is purposeful. In this life, he will rule the kingdom of Ondarion, and they deserve something very specific. Doesn't need distractions like family. So at the end of the night, once Cassandra had gone through all of his offensive questions with great stride, he asked the third question that he thought would be the end of her. Please explain your attraction level to me. And she was very honest. She says, I find you very attractive. That's just distracting. He did not call Cassandra back. And Gabriel Jude comes home from his own date, and he tells Caius that he's going to hang it up for a little while. He's not going to be dating. And Caius, still bitter about his dates, decides he's going to do the same thing. So they refocus their energies on Gabriel's small business. Not really small, but technically. The Darong estate owned a museum, and he turned it into an interactive museum. You could go there to view art You could go there to be the art. You could go there to learn art. Some of the Sims would play instruments. Some of them would do painting while they were there. There were also classes that they could attend. Now, Gabriel Jude got married very late in life. After Caius and Cassandra got married the first time, he still didn't want to be married, didn't want to do dating. He knew he was responsible for passing on his genetics, hopefully a girl. So he science babied Ilara Jude. He named her after Ilara Cap, who Zahara had a secret baby with. Deny, deny, deny. But he found out about it, and he thought he could marry Ilara Cap and take care of the baby with her until he realized that they were cousins of removal and seconds and thirds and whatever. He was related to her through Francesca Abrantes, because Francesca's mother married the Cap guy, and then the Cap guy adopted Francesca as his own, so the genealogy would not let Gabriel Jude anywhere near Ilara Cap. And then he found out about Franny, who we talked about in previous videos, so he redirected his energies to Franny. He never found out about Kasana, so that guy gets to be left alone to live his life as he so pleases. And he says thank ya. He always had a little bit of bitterness with what happened with Ilara Cap and his mother Zahara, therefore named his science baby Ilara. She was a child when he met Brant Hecking. Brant carried their twins. They got twin girls, and everyone's jealous that Gabriel Jude managed to have 3 girls living in a matriarchy that is high value. The girls are teenagers now. Zafira's a teenager now, and none of them have their Darong fathers. Rosalind is going to make sure Zafira turns into a respectable Darong, and Brant is present at every noble court meeting. If you hold court, if you have a press conference, a grand ball, he is there. He is present, whether he's invited or not, and we all appreciate him for it. He's very supportive, and he is a valued member of the Darong family, so those girls will be just fine. So let me branch back to Caius's story, starting at the Fisherman's Wharf. So instead of dating, the 2 boys worked on this small business. And after a while, guess who comes in? None other than Cassandra Goth. And Caius falls to his knees. And what I mean by that is I am interpreting what happened within the 2 minutes that she was in the lobby. He basically sees her, rushes over to her, kisses her. Massive kiss. They haven't talked. He didn't call her back. Just out of nowhere, does this lovingly dip kiss. And then I get 2 notifications right in a row. They're pop-ups. Pauses the whole game. He wants to switch his personality to loyal and love bug. Okay? This is such a massive, huge shift. I was like, okay, wait. How did we go from calloused dater to loyal love bug? Like, what happened? Cassandra happened. He's so infatuated, enamored, massively in love with her. They skip dating and go right to being engaged. And in gameplay, what that means is they became boyfriend-girlfriend and got engaged all in the same conversation. And you know what that tells me is there was so much denial going on in Caius that the moment something unexpected happened, he completely broke, like a flood that just demolishes all that wasn't true. So cute, so beautiful and gorgeous. So they get married, they have babies. Cassandra raises them in San Sequoia. She thinks that's a beautiful place to raise children. Turns out it doesn't counteract the goth values, both of those children embody more Goth values than Darong values, and that started to eat away at Caius. He wanted his own children to be eligible for the throne. Again, the way that the Darong Dynasty manages eligibility is a little bit different. So it started to eat away at him because the person that decides is not the person up for the throne, right? That's conflict of interest. The person that decides for the Darong family is the head of the dynasty. His own children are more like Cassandra than they are like him. They look just like him. You wouldn't know Cassandra even was involved until you got to know them. So he started wondering if he made the wrong choice in a life partner. And then his grandmother died and his mother's died and he becomes king of Ondarion. And it starts to bother him even more. He's actually in the seat. Now he has a press conference one day and he meets a woman named Melania Esmira Moreno Darong. Now, don't get this mixed up. This woman is evil. She's gorgeous and intelligent, and you cannot deny that. But she is a villain in this story. Caius is his own villain most of the time. Don't get that mixed up either. So, in this moment, and I have a picture of it, I'll show you. In this moment, he, for the second time in his life, falls head over heels in love to the point where he is going to uproot his entire life for this woman. And the thing that we need to understand about Melania Esmira Moreno Darong is that she was already married into the family. Caius even got a moodlet that said, "In love with an in-law." I had never seen that moodlet before. And I was like, I'm sorry, who is she married to? Who is this woman? She's married to Obi Darong, Zahara's brother. They've both been reincarnated, Zahara and Obi. We saw them earlier in this video. But Melania, of course, is willing to give up Obi for Caius because love is love. And what are you going to do? So Caius moves his family out of their new Ondarion home. Cassandra takes both of the kids and he moves Melania in and they get married. And the second they get home from their wedding, I get a notification Melania Esmira Moreno Darong is no longer attracted to Caius Elijah Darong. Cool. Highly intelligent woman, trading up, can't deny it, evil. He upended his entire life for this woman, and now they have to get a divorce. But we have to wait because she's pregnant. She's pregnant, and he's very excited about this. He's really hoping to get a girl who embodies the Darong values. Now, as we've already seen, he doesn't get to actually see her accomplish that, which is tragic. But we are still hoping that she can be exemplary member of the Darong Dynasty. We go through the whole pregnancy. Zafira is born, and Caius goes to introduce the baby to Rosalind, and he explains the situation to Rosalind. Melania never loved him, and Rosalind advises him, very specifically, to get a hobby. You have messed up too much. You do not get to now clean all of this up with more scandal. Go get a hobby, settle down, relax. If you need to take time away from her, that's your choice. You do not get to move out of that house with her. You do not get to end your marriage with her. You need to get happier. You need to be in a better place. And then you can make life-altering decisions for yourself. Because right now, you're panicking because you made poor decisions in a poor state of mind, and it's having poor results. So instead of continuing on with that pattern, change nothing. Accept your outlook on life. Go get happy. Go give back to your community. And when you feel better, we can talk about this again. But you do not get to continue this spiral. So that's what he does. He takes a good chunk of time. And then Rosalind, being the ever-loving and generous head of the dynasty that she is, invites Cassandra to a family event. Caius is not happy in his marriage, although he has successfully become happy in his life. He built a whole park for children. The whole community came out to build tree houses. It took forever. It's gorgeous. He did a fantastic job. So Rosalind really did him a good service by being so blunt with him, because he started to see the core of what that meant, right? And he starts to understand that he was wrong to blame Cassandra. He was wrong to build the resentment against her. He was wrong to pass judgment on his children. He was wrong to compare them, want things for them that are none of his business, right? It's their life. And that's why the Darong Dynasty has the point system, because not every heir is going to live up to the expectations of a kingdom leader. That methodology worked when we believed that kingdom leaders were deities, but now we know better. The Darong family certainly knows better. So he put pressure on himself that even Rosalind wasn't putting on him. Generations of Darongs wouldn't have put on him. And his whole life came crashing down because of it. You imagine he had to go through a lot of recompense where Cassandra's concerned, because she's a strong woman. She doesn't have the insecurities that would lead her back to an unhealthy relationship. So he would have to prove that that wasn't the case. Then he sees Cassandra at this family event. They have a conversation. He runs it by Rosalind, who does not make decisions for the kingdom, but she makes decisions for the dynasty. And this is called a separation of power. Checks and balances. This is called, an American came up with this. But there's no conflict of interest that way, so it's good. And Caius is acutely aware that he's lucky to have the throne, because the Darongs prioritize women, reborn women. And he was lucky that Jawara was too young to accept the throne when Zahara died. So he plays by Rosalind's rules for the most part, especially when he's in deep trouble. So he gets a divorce, and he gets back together with Cassandra, and they get married again. Melania also finds her way back to Obi. Now there's a big age gap between her and Obi. Obi dies quickly thereafter, and reborn with his sister Zahara to Ilara Jude, and Caius and Gabriel live more or less happily ever after. We're very sad to see these men go, and we're very happy for the contributions that they have made. We're honored to have known them, honored even more to have loved and be loved by them. We will miss them greatly, and the void is palpable. May they rest in peace, and know they will always be remembered, because their story has been told here today. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for caring enough about these men to hear their story through to this end. And I hope you have a good night.